Hey everybody. In today's presentation, Flexibility in Pace and Place with Screencastify, we'll take a very brief look at Screencastify to see how it can be used to support learning, whether students are with us in the classroom, accessing the content at the same time, or not. At the end of today's brief session, you should be able to at least talk about Screencastify and describe what it's able to do. Hopefully you'll be able to make a recording of your screen and then afterwards trim off the front and back ends of your presentation or of your recording. And hopefully you'll also be able to store and access and easily share your screen recording with your intended audience. First, just an overview of what Screencastify does. It's a Chrome extension, which means you'll access it by opening the Google Chrome web browser. You'll see a little pink arrow in the top right-hand corner, and that's how you start recording your screen. And that's exactly what it does. It records whatever you show on your screen. When it's done recording, it automatically saves in a Screencastify folder in your Google Drive. You don't have to set that up. It does that automatically for you. And because of this ease of use and storing capability, there are just myriad ways that the teacher and the student can use Screencastify to deliver content and to prove knowledge in the classroom or outside of the classroom. A few tips to keep in mind. Some of these are easier said than done. Choose a quiet place to record. Close the door. Put a sign up. Whatever you can do to minimize those audio interferences will improve your overall recording. Try to keep it short. The free version will cut you off at 5 minutes, but that's actually a pretty good guideline anyways. A lot of times if we can keep a video under 5 minutes, especially our student learners, will have an easier time focusing and maintaining attention and taking that bite-sized chunk and actually applying it. Try to make an outline as opposed to writing a script. It's a nice in-between. The outline keeps me on task and reminds me of what I'm supposed to talk about, but it's not scripted, so I don't sound like I'm reading. In fact, the Google slide right now that I'm using is my outline, so that's a nice combined feature of Google Slides. It's an outline that looks nice, so I can show it to my audience while using it myself. Also, finally, this is the hardest part for me. Expect to make mistakes and keep rolling with it. Your audience doesn't expect to have a flawless recording. It's okay to say too much. And it's okay to mispronounce words. The alternative would be to just start over every time you made a mistake, and you would end up spending an hour without having finished anything if you're like me, because you would constantly want to restart every time you made a mistake. Your audience doesn't expect this to be an Oscar-worthy film. Just make mistakes, keep rolling with it, and get it done. Okay, so to start a screen recording, you would go to the top right-hand corner of your browser window and click that pink arrow. When you do that, this will appear. Notice I'm using the free version here, so it's got a 5-minute limit. And it gives me 3 main options: whether I want to record my browser tab, so whatever specifically is on my Chrome browser tab, whether I want to record my entire desktop, so everything that is on my screen, or whether I want to record only what is being shown into my webcam here. I like to use the desktop because it gives me the most flexibility with switching between windows. It's actually what I'm using right now, so that I could start a screen recording to make this presentation, and then in a different window start another screen recording so I could show you what that looks like. So that's what I'm doing right now. Once you choose what you want to show to your audience, whether it's a tab, your whole desktop, or the webcam, there are a few more options. You could choose your microphone if you had multiple. This option of embedding the webcam either makes me go away or allows me to appear there in the bottom window. I can also adjust how long the countdown is before the recording starts, and a few other options. One nice option here is the system audio. With this toggled on, whatever audio might be playing through my computer will come into the video. So that's really helpful if I'm trying to show a video and to make a recording of it, this will allow my audience to hear the audio that's in the video I'm showing. Okay, so when you have all your options chosen, click record. It'll give you a brief countdown, and it'll start recording. In this case, because I chose to record my entire desktop, it's going to ask if I want to share my entire screen or just an application window. I'm going to choose to share my entire screen. So I'll click that and then click share, and then my countdown begins. Now that I'm recording, you'll notice that these tools have appeared, and let's just do a quick little overview of these tools. This mouse pointer option can change how my mouse appears while I'm making a screen recording. The focus mouse will highlight what I'm hovering over and make darker what I'm not hovering over. The hide cursor option will make my mouse disappear to get it out of the way if I'm not using it a lot. And the highlight click option will make a red circle appear. So this is helpful if I'm really wanting to emphasize to my audience what I'm trying to click. I can have all of these options on at the same time, or just one or two. There's a lot of flexibility with that. The pen tool is pretty obvious. It allows me to highlight something, draw something on the screen to bring attention to it. And the accompanying tool with that, of course, would be the eraser, where I can either erase part or the entire screen of pen markup by clicking that square there. The embed cam option allows me to make my camera go away or appear, and I can turn that on or off throughout the entire presentation. When I'm done recording, I go back up to my Screencastify icon and I click the stop icon. When I do that, it's going to automatically save my recording into Google Drive, and it's going to bring up some options if I want to edit it a little bit or share it in a different way. So I can trim off the front end or the last part by clicking and dragging these scissors to trim my video if there's a little bit at the front or a little bit at the back, beginning and end. If I wanted to trim just to get rid of some extra, I could make those adjustments and click Save Trim. It'll permanently change my video and update that in Google Drive. Speaking of which, let's see where in Google Drive it went. So now I'm in my Google Drive, and notice there's a nice little Screencastify folder. I didn't have to set that up at all. If everything that I make through Screencastify is going to end up in Google Drive, and here's my brand new Screencastify folder. So with Screencastify, we've seen that it can record screens. It can give us some editing options after we make a recording, and then it very easily, seamlessly will integrate with Google Drive, Google Classroom, Gmail, all those nice Google tools to make getting that video out to our audience much, much easier.